no actual factual going on. Like I don't see like other than I guess who is that? But that was rap beef. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about rap beefs.
Nah.
When the last time you heard an athlete like think about this Gilbert Arenas when he pulled out that guy? You familiar?
Yeah, pulled
like
up
that,
on yeah.
And when have you heard about
straps.
Gilbert Arenas? I mean, from there it was downhill from there.
Yeah.
Like they don't allow you to be like Pesico Burris when he shot his own self.
Yeah.
His career went down. Like they don't allow you to be street and having guns and really being about that life. It just don't mix. But it could be a few examples out there. But from what I could remember, once it started getting violent and gunplay and all that started happening and families start getting threatened and it gets cleaned up real quick.
Nah, yeah, I definitely think I agree with that. But I think it's the NBA. They're gonna keep it PG-13.
Right.
They can go wrestle around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Call each other what they want. They're gonna pay a fine and keep going. You know what I mean? That's just how they operate. So I don't think NBA, at least with them two specifically, I don't think they're gangster or anything like that. I think they just, you know what I'm saying, big, the big dudes that like to run their mouth, but you don't see a couple of big ass dudes get knocked out. I think they one of them dudes. Like I really don't think either one of them are hard like they may portray that they are.
Neither do I.
That's just how the NBA rolls, and some people act like they tough, some people act like they not. You know what I mean? Play a role. That's how I look at it. But this is the real, and we keeping it real with more NBA on the way. We talking about Steph Curry too. He broke his hand. You know what I mean? I don't know if you saw that. Yeah, he broke his hand.
Really broke?
Yeah.
Is he still playing or is he out?
Nope, he broke his left hand. He's gonna be out. It's a fracture in the second metacarpal. If you know where that's at, that's
that's right there by the finger.
Yeah. Hell no, but he's gonna be out for a couple of probably a couple months, honestly. Yeah,
they're gonna be getting beat by like 40 or 50.
I mean, they were already getting whooped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They still lost that game. They had been losing games. They lost to the Suns 121 to 110.
Yeah, they got drugged about 40 or something, 30 or something a little bit before that.
Yeah, and they got whooped by the Clippers. Yeah, it's not looking too good for Golden State right now.
Glad. I want to know what my son is going to say. Now, my son was a bandwagon Golden State fan. Yeah, I mean, but
you hate to see it.
You hate to see it, but I'm so glad because it was like, for a while you couldn't see past Golden State. You know what I mean? Not when they had, when they had KD, it was like, okay. And nobody was really beating them, man. They was winning like all kinds of games, and Steph is a monster, man.
Yeah, no, but I still think they could make the playoffs, like 8 seed, the 8 seed, something like that. 7,
man,
8.
the West is deep.
The West is packed, but like who? There's only like 4 teams that are really way out there. The other
off the top of my head,
spots.
I can name 4 teams. You got Houston, the Clippers, the Spurs, the Lakers. You got you got the Jazz. They've been doing their thing with your boy. That's 5,
but
right there.
They're not like notably better than Golden State would be.
They got all their the Timberwolves. They got all their people though.
Timberwolves are not going to perform. As
I'm
high
talking
as
about the Grizzlies.
When's the last time they made the playoffs?
The Grizzlies.
Grizzlies are terrible.
Nah, man.
Terrible.
Well, who is the top? Who is the AC? Who is the top 8 over there?
I mean, if off the top of my head, I would say Clippers. I would say Lakers. I would say Houston. I would say I would throw
OKC.
Okay, nah, hell nah.
They just went toe to toe.
Nah, hell no. AKC's not making the playoffs, bro.
They just went toe to toe with Houston.
On. Yeah, you can get it. Like people gonna lose. Phoenix Suns is beating the team. Phoenix Suns gonna make the playoffs this year.
I'm just telling you. You acting like it's an automatic show-in for the Warriors.
No, I'm not saying it's an automatic. I'm just saying I think the Warriors could still make the 8th seed. That's not outrageous.
Maybe not.
There's 4, maybe 5 teams that are notably better. With D'Angelo Russell alone, they went to the playoffs in the East. I understand it's the East, but he's still got a Brooklyn Nets team who he was the only notably really good player on that team. You got a couple other good people, but he was the only notable one. He was taking most of the shots. It's going to be the same thing with Golden State now. It's going to be his team because they have nobody else. It's him and Draymond. Mm-hmm. Draymond's not going to give them no buckets like that. And there's nobody else on that team really that notably stands out, just like Brooklyn was. So I see it's feasible for them to make the 8th seed. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Especially if Steph come back at the end of the season, especially if Clay might play, but he probably won't play. That's probably not gonna happen, but I'm just saying it's a possibility they could make the
only
AC
reason I agree
still.
with you is because of that fire ass arena they just got, so they got something to play for.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they gotta. But
fire.
did you see the seats there that night? The stands, they're not like Golden State Warrior
it's
games.
definitely not like the Oracle.
Because KD's not there, Klay's not. All you're going to see is Steph. You know what you're getting
Steph
from
just
Steph.
broke his hand. They
Yeah,
have to
Steph
throw a
is
carnival
out.
in that. They gonna have to
D'Angelo Russell, he's a good player, but he's not gonna sell tickets. You know what I'm saying?
They're
He's not
gonna have to
put
do something in
ass
that
in
building
seats.
besides basketball, boy.
Nah, no way. But I think that might be a wrap on sports for today, man. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we did have the World. We can't just bulldoze straight past the World Series. We did have two teams play for the World Series. I mean, all the
niggas don't watch baseball, bro.
Man, the baseball
know.
is the highest paid sport, man.
It's the highest paid sport, but
yeah. Well, shout out to Houston, man. They gave it a good run, but the Washington Nationals, if you haven't heard, are your 2019 World Series champs, man. I personally don't watch baseball, but I like a lot of my homeboys that's white watch baseball. So
I don't really know nobody personally that really goes and watches baseball. Actually, one dude I went to school with, he played baseball, and he was actually one white dude, one of the fastest people I know personally. And I know a lot of fast people. I done played basketball all over the city, and I seen a lot of fast people. He one of the fastest people I've seen. I don't know if it's like that no more. That was back in high school, but and he's actually pretty good at basketball too. So I'm not saying they can't be athletes, but baseball's not something I'm gonna go be purchasing a ticket for anytime soon. I'd much rather be at a football or basketball game, and that's really the only sports I really watch like that. But like I said, I did say it was a wrap on sports. I don't know if you wanted to do a top 5 today. You
absolutely want to do a top 5. That's a staple in the whole production.
Hey,
bro.
man, that's us right there. That's real, raw reality every single time, man. We give it to you. We got hot topics. We got today's and hip hops. We got everything you need and top 5s on top of that. So I think top 5 for today was going to be TV shows.
Yeah, we got to do the best TV shows. I don't want to just do black because I kind of watch a couple white shows too. So.
Yeah, I definitely got some white shows in mind too. But I think honestly, majority of mine might be black shows.
All right, so let's do a top 5 TV shows.
All right, bet that. So I'm gonna roll right into mine, and I don't know if this is in order. I can't really say it's in order. Am I allowed to say that, or does it have to be in order?
Nah, it hasn't been. I mean, historically, we just been doing top 5, and if we have our number 1, we'll definitely say our number 1. And most of the time, we got honorable mentions.
Yeah,
and there's
definitely
a tie or two.
Yeah, I definitely have an honorable mention, and I probably got some shows on here you never heard of, but I know most of them you probably definitely have. I mentioned them earlier. I gotta go with Fresh Prince.
Please don't come with. Oh, well, good. I thought you were gonna say Ren and Stimpy.
Nah.
Do you have Beavis and Butthead?
No, none of that. None of that.
All right, so
I do have a cartoon on here, but it's neither one of those.
Okay.
So Fresh Prince is in my list.
All right.
I would say Martin's
Martin's
in my list.
I think he's my number 1, but let's go.
Yeah, Martin's in my list for sure. Wayne's Bros. Those was one of my shows too. I just watched it all the time. You ever heard of Supernatural?
No.
It's one of them white shows, but it's
right.
And I don't know if I'll even go into explaining it today. I have to. We'll do that at some other time because it's a lot that goes into
Take it to the timeline.
Yeah. But Rick and Morty is another show of mine.
Take it to the timeline.
It's a cartoon.
Give me some.
It's a
give me a
cartoon.
little bit. Let me know have I seen that.
All right, so Rick and Morty, it's just a cartoon, but it's like an adult. It's kind of like Family Guy, but like sci-fi.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Kind of out the place. Rick is just like this drunk dude. Morty's like this like autistic kid, and they're like traveling through space because Rick's like this super genius, I guess, and
so
it's aliens and it's all kind. It's fucked up.
I guess we know which one of us was going to have our medical card.
Yeah.
I guess we know which one of us are going to have that.
Yeah, so when it comes that time, you know what I'm saying, I'll be in line, trust me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do have some honorable mentions though, real quick.
Go ahead.
Everybody Hates Chris for me. I really like that show a lot.
I like that one.
And My Wife and Kids. I don't know if you ever saw that.
With Damon Wayans.
Yeah, Damon Wayans.
Yeah, I like that.
That was one of my shows too.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's my top 5, and then I got 2 honorable mentions. So I'm putting it on you, man. I want to hear what was a TV show for you growing up.
Let's open the trunk. when I say trunk, I don't mean like the car trunk. I mean like, are you familiar with those things that people used to put their clothes in?
Yeah.
I'm a old geezer, man. But I had Martin up there. I don't know if Martin is number one. I'm sure there was a couple before that. I got A Different World up there, bro.
Okay.
A Different World had it was a college experience. I didn't really even know it was the college experience. I just thought it was just, I really didn't know what it was, but it was just a trend. It came on after the Cosby Show, and it had just black people, man, just young black people seeming like they was getting in the thing. That was where Whitley first came from. Y'all remember Whitley? Jasmine Guy?
Nah.
You don't remember Jasmine Guy?
I don't know. If I seen it, maybe.
Oh, you don't know Jasmine Guy?
Off the top of the head, nah.
My goodness.
My memory's not very good.
All right, I guarantee if you see it, you know Jasmine Guy. But Jasmine Guy came from that show, A Different World. Have you even heard of A Different World?
I've heard of it. I'm not
well,
all that
good.
familiar with it, but I've definitely heard of it.
Because I didn't even, I'd never heard of the two that you named, the cartoons. So
that's fine.
I feel good. I don't feel so ancient that you have heard one of my picks. What about In Living Color?
In Living Color, yeah.
Okay, In Living Color is my number one.
Okay,
because, and I actually met Keenan Ivory Wayans before. He has also blessed me. He gave me, he not baptized me, but he put his hand on my head and wished me into the comedy
I got
catosphere. So, Living Color, Different World. I'm going to go with Sanford and Son.
I've never watched that.
You never watched Sanford and Son?
I've never watched that.
Okay, Sanford and Son.
I've heard the name again, but I've never watched it.
Do you not know the main character of Sanford and Son?
If I saw them, yeah, but like I said, I've never seen it, so I've never watched it. I've never seen it on TV, nothing.
Okay.
Ever.
All right, so... Again, I represent the G's, he represents the Jits. That's why I'm holding it down for y'all, man. I know all the old school homies represent and they know about Sanford and Son. My honorable mention would be Good Times.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Good Times?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Good Times.
Okay, great. Okay, and not 227, but the Jeffersons.
Ah, okay.
Are you familiar with the Jeffersons?
Yeah, I'm familiar. I've never watched it, but I am familiar.
You never
with
watched the Jeffersons, bro?
Nah.
All right, and so my two white shows. And I was very addicted to both of them. The first one would be Law and Order.
Law and Order, okay, I can see that.
I could watch Law and Order for like 3 days straight.
I don't know about 3 days, but I can watch a couple episodes.
Law and Order. I hate when it goes off, and I love it when it comes back on. And Seinfeld is my other one.
Seinfeld, never got into that. I never thought Seinfeld was funny.
It's a dry humor. That it's just one of those kinds of things. It does no good to mention all these old people, but Seinfeld is very well respected amongst a lot of black comedians. Man, he's a cool guy, and the way they put together they pretty much had the model for new age television, like the way that people did the sitcom. Like he was one of the most successful sitcoms.
And I'm familiar with it for real. And I definitely think I've caught a couple episodes, but maybe I was just too young. I just didn't maybe understand the jokes and things like that.
Yeah.
So, and plus that dude Kramer was racist as hell. So you know what I'm saying? That was another thing.
Well,
that kind of
you have to do your research on it, man. I'm not saying he was or wasn't, but I like I said, as far as character development, plots. And you know what I mean, just the writing of it.
Oh, I'm just talking about the dude that played Kramer.
The dude that played Kramer was I think he said some racist things before.
Oh yeah, he definitely
did. But again, what you learn as you get older, as you kind of understand that you kind of just let the characters be the characters and the actors be the actors be the
separate
actors.
Too. Yeah, I got you.
Because again, I couldn't even let anybody, no one, black or white, into my home. And record how I really feel about a lot of things and people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I would be, people don't really know the real thoughts that, anyone has.
I got you.
And then when you get caught slipping, it's like people be so surprised. But if the truth is told, like we all have a few, like, just not say racist, but we do have our own opinions about a lot of stuff, man. And I would hate to get caught saying some of the things I think and say in the privacy of my own home. So that might be what he just messed up and just said it. He got drunk. Kind of like Mel Gibson, just, that alcohol. You got to be careful, man.
Yeah, man. I definitely think people operate like that, in which they might feel a certain way behind doors, but not outright in public with this. So I mean, I guess you do what you got to do and handle your business, but that's just the real to real. You know what I'm saying? Real raw reality every single time, man. We giving it to you every single time, man. This is Jacksonville, Florida, representing Duval's finest for real though.
The
you know what I mean?
The utmost audio experience, the ultimate audio experience, man. #1 source